Alright everybody, welcome back on into another game here of Beyond All Reason. It's going to be an 8 versus 8 here on the tried and true All That Glitters. It's a north versus south map. Take a look at our teams here. Team leader for red is going to be Cheetah, coming in at an amazing 47 skill. Starting in the front line with an Armada commander, looks like they're going to go for vehicles. On the opposite side, in the blue trunks, is Clumsy Bandit, coming in at 30 skill, going with an Armada commander. Hasn't got his lab queued up yet, so I don't know if he's going for bots or vehicles. We're going to be having vehicle, 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 vehicle all across the front line here. Interesting. And then bots for their backline players. Violet Hawk coming in the air position, and Mallworld in the tech position. On the opposite side, we have bots and 3 vehicles for the frontline positions, and then vehicles for both back. Skeletal Penguin in the air position, and Tony Tripleshot playing the tech position. Red's going to be the first one to send out some scouts. Followed up very closely by blue, and a proper, well, it's a fighter instead of a scout plane. I'm going to try and see if he can catch anybody being cheeky with transports, I assume. Many times you take a transport and try and get something built up on top of these in the canyon positions to shore up your defenses early. It can be really frustrating later on if there's artillery built up here, or if you just ferry up things like Wolverines or Shell Shockers. Blues rovers here. Gonna be caught by fast forwards rovers. Sneak past. Commander is gonna be here to thwart them running by. Good control though out of Clumsy Bandit. Very fast reaction times. Didn't just lose all of them like I would. Red is consolidating his scouting force. Not going for a run by. Blue's run by is going to make it back here. There's an LLT, so got to be careful over there. Might get this mech though. Oh, just barely misses firing for the second time there. Unfortunate. These rovers though, definitely going to get this one. Oh, come on. Well, not getting anything done with these rovers. Over on this side, though, got some rascals. Did get this mech and a grave robber, which is very nice. And that's not where it's going to end. Come on. Gets another mech. Gonna get a scout. Another mech. Well, this is actually going to start really slowing down the red team's canyon position here. Now getting all the energy production. Blue sent up his rovers as well. We're gonna get two solars, and the mechs. Oh wow! Fast forward space is getting just really hurt here. Janice is gonna clean those up. Still one left. It's currently paralyzed from a shuriken. But fast forward, just economically taking a huge hit there. His commander's up forward, and he's having some APM issues, I think. There we go. Going for T2 already here is Daka Man, who took economic damage to begin with. So gonna be very difficult for the canyon to hold if they get pushed during that transition. Red's getting a good scout off here. Get some mechs too. Very nice. Good trade for a little rover. Over on the eastern side of the map, looks like Object, pushing with blitzes, has Joe and Danilos Bedro pushed back on their canyon side, way past the halfway point of the map. Object is going to have to be careful not to overcommit here, as if you get too far forward, you can get cut in from the side from reinforcements from another player. Blitz is trying to run past on the side. They are going to make it past. The two commanders here are not going to be able to keep up with them. Is there reinforcements here to catch them? There is not. These are going to make it past. Converter goes down, another converter and a mechs. Dragon's Maw, though, definitely going to put a stop to their advances out of that side, plus an exploiter. So, there wasn't units, but there's a lot of pork over here. Blue coming, or correction, the purple player coming in with blitzes. There is shurikens here, which is going to make this very difficult to be efficient. Going to get 2 mexes. Shurikens, though, definitely worth their weight in gold here. If these were not here, oh, the economic damage would be maybe not recoverable. But as it stands, oh, no. Doesn't hold them down. They end up getting this other mechs again. Meanwhile, we got some stouts and blitzes coming through on the other side of the canyon. Gonna get some economic damage done here to Grandmaster. A couple mechs already go down, as well as some energy production. The air player, though, with the shuriken, really, really, really locking it down. Fast Forward is really not liking Daka, like at all. Brett is moving forward with Sonny Lopez here, trying to keep pushing this front forward. We're already at a interesting line across the front. Symmetrical, at least. Just makes very awkward places with your front lines where you can get your flank hit hard by an opposing player that you were not directly across from. Shell shockers raining down here from the red team into the blue defenses in the canyon. D-Gun gonna get 3 of these medium tanks. That's a nice pickup there for Joe. Meanwhile, Clumsy Bandits dealing with a medium tank run by. Cleans them up, sends his own tanks in response. And the green and purple player here just continually applying pressure to the canyon players of Fast Forward and Daka. Fast Forward has a good amount of tanks here. Trying to do a little strafing run by with the Janus firing. Purple trying to do a run by with blitzes, but getting caught by these tanks. Not going to get anything done as they're head off by a couple more tanks too. Looking good for the blue team at the moment. This center portion here from the Grandmaster player is looking a little empty and devoid of units and defenses. Looks like Clumsy Bandit is free to just move forward. And the more ground you take forward, the more mexes you can take, the more units you can make, and it's a snowballing effect. Cheetah coming forward, looks like he wants to get a D-gun, gets 1. shell shockers going up against a gauntlet here. Don't know. Let's see the vision that he has. Perfect vision here. There's a opposing gauntlet, so I don't know. No vision here, and it's on dumbfire. Not ideal. Yeah. Having that on dumbfire to a radar signature, and it's not hitting. Commander does go down here. That was Clumsy Bandit's comm. But meanwhile, Green is pushing forward in the canyon. Getting a lot of pressure put on here. Looks like T2 has started coming out for Daka. Needs to get enough of it to prevent these tanks from pushing forward. Grandmasters used the time here that Cheetah has bought for them to come up to the front and start putting down some defenses. Meanwhile, our gauntlet face-off is still going on here. Everybody wants to ping. Clumsy Bandits, tanks, Janus coming up. Just trading out with the other T1 units. Object is there to thwart any further push. Daka's comm is really far forward here and might get jumped on. Lime Green is coming forward. Daka's got to be careful with his comm. Meanwhile, yeah, the tank's got to be careful of the D-guns. So far lost about 4 tanks there to the D-guns. Dockman cloaks. D-guns again, gets another tank. Oh, he's very close to going down. So close. He's down to... There he goes down. We've got Sheldon out. They're not in huge numbers yet, but they're out, and they will outrange all of this T1. Violet Hawk is sitting here with their comm to help degun anything that pushes forward. Wonder if Shalt Shaker Live, the purple player who was helping this push, has been porking up the front line over here instead. Has made a T2 transition, so unfortunately Green is just going to get pushed back by this T2. Hot Dog is calling his position lost. Red pushes way far down. Gonna lose some of his T1 for that. So many T1 artillery emplacements. Let's see. Green has abandoned trying to push through the canyon as the Sheldon fight back. So now we're almost to an even front line again. We're almost back to where we started. Meanwhile, the team incomes, though, if you look, much different. The red team is definitely scaling their eco better than the blue team is. We're getting a decent push here down the center from the red team. We do have hounds here to push back this T1. made from the tech player, which that's a very, very early unit production from the tech player on the blue side, whereas on the red side, the tech player straight to T3. Many times what I've seen is the team that their tech player starts building units first is the team that loses, because you stop scaling your income to produce the units. Airwave is pulled. Bombers are coming in behind. This definitely has the ability to equal out that income. Let's see what the bombing run can get. There is a flak truck out. Going for the T2 lab of the red player. Going to get the converters of the red. That's about it. I mean, it's a decent amount of converters they got. But that's it for economic damage. Did take out the airwave, or air wall, excuse me. So it brought the incomes closer. But is it enough? Looks like the blue team eco player has stopped unit production and is going back to scaling eco, which I think is the right decision here. We do have Mausers out here for hot dog. And we have T3 has started with green is just went straight from T1 up to T3, and he's not going to be able to deal with this, I don't think. There's a lot of T1 and T2 coming down. Well, it's sliding past his unit. Going to take out a ton of constructors. Takes out 2 labs. There we go. Some T2 going to come help. This should be able to push all this back now that there's these lightnings here to help deal with these medium tanks. Ooh, don't want these converters to go down. If you can get these Karganeth up on top of these hills, they do a great job at preventing any pushes coming through the canyon. Got Marauder production has started from the red team. So we've got Marauders for the red team and Karganeth for the blue team at the moment. Looks like Tony Triple Shot is still scaling with rather regular fusions as opposed to going into APHIS economy. We got Bulls and Starlights for the red player Cheetah here. Pushing forward. It's a very messy front line. 3 Karganeth coming up. Gonna maybe engage into this. It's definitely enough to take care of it. Instead, looks like they're going to push Canyon. Everybody's very dramatic. Lightning's jumping on top of these Sheldons. Not able to take them out, but does take out the jammer, which allows these hounds to actually fire into them. Meanwhile, the Starlights from red keep pushing forward. Looks like the Mausers are going to be brought up to try and deal with this. There's quite a few of them. They don't have... Oh, there's the jammer. Alright. But there's plenty of ticks to provide vision here. And the Marauders have been pulled. See if they can get through and get into the juicy underbelly of one of these players. Get some economic damage dealt. Coming straight down the center. Gonna take out some T2 mexes along the way. Gotta watch out for these minefields though. It's always a terrible feeling when you hear that mines were detected. And the Marauders are taking some heavy damage going through that. Takes out 2 or 3 of them for free. Takes out a T1 lab, more mexes, turbines. At this point, like, that is some very serious economic damage here to Hot Dog. The mexes alone, it's a lot of income. Gonna get these converters here, might get this 1 turbine farm. Slow down the air player. I don't think he has the DPS to get through this. It's so hard to kill the build power with just 1 unit. It repairs itself so fast. Dug a very nice hole deep down the center though. Took out a lot of income. Got Cargonets and a catapult here for the lime green player, pushing up the center much the same way that the Marauders did for the other team, but opposing. Hopefully they can try and even this out. There is a pulsar coming up here for red, almost done, which will really put a dent in this push. Uh-oh, Violet Hawk getting caught out here by these T3 and the Bull. Cloaks. Doesn't look like they have a radar bot with them, so he will be safe for now. Cheetah also cloaks, but because of that, his pulsar doesn't have the energy to fire. So loses that expensive T2 fortification here. Oh, Nighthawk. Lightnings from purple player do get the Nighthawk commander. Cheetah's commander is still alive here. We got a great push coming up the center here from the blue team. They need to deal some damage in kind to what was just received. Lightning's getting into the economic center here. Get 1 mech. Didn't stick around to finish that one off. And they're going to get cleared up here. There's some bulls to follow it up. Hopefully they can finish off some of this. Not really getting any focused fire here, though. So, there we go. Get a mechs. Get a couple converters, which chain reacts. There we go. That is dealing some significant damage now. The bulls keep coming. Got Marauders here to head them off, as well as some Wasp gunships. A lot of Mauser. Gonna get jumped on though here by these Marauder.
Battle paused. Battle started.
Let's see. This is a great push, but I think the forces of red have collapsed on it now, and its time is over and need to consolidate forces and maybe hit a different angle. Gosh, those catapults range. Cargoneth are doing a great job of staying alive. Gonna have to back out though. There's a lot of starlights hitting them. I think I cursed the poor Cargoneth. Alright. Marauders trying to come down, but they're not going to get very far. Starlights really far forward at this point. Yeah. Not a unit that you want to be pushing with. Some more Marauder here. Gonna join up with their friends.
Battle paused. Battle started.
Let's see. Don't know who's gonna come out on top here. We have Red's income is higher. I'm not really using it all that effectively at the moment. We're getting some good run-ins here. Blue's lightning's coming up, getting into the defenses. Hopefully we can get some more concerted pushes and get economic damage dealt. That's what you need to actually be able to move forward and win the game. Let's see if we can't speed this up for a second. See if we can find where somebody makes a push in. Everybody wants to fight each other's units here, but nobody wants to go around. Got Marauders just running into Mammoths. One of the faster units just running into the slow unit. Red's team is playing very defensive with all these starlights, and the blue team is not using something that can bust them, which would be mass spam and then maybe sharpshooters. Or, I mean, if you have T3, which they do, is just mass spam and then some catapults and target fire them. Instead, we're sticking with the Carganates from green. And he's not using the one advantage they have, which is the fact that they can go over this terrain. They're coming in. They're getting deep in. Let's see if they can actually make it in for some economic damage here. Slow it back down. There we go. Now they're going to use some terrain after they've gotten targeted by all these arbiters. That's a lot of arbiters over here. Fast forward, not really utilizing the units they have. And they didn't make it anywhere. Yeah, Razorbacks here. I think it's time for some more advanced T3 units. See some Titans or some Thors. We're definitely far enough in for that. Some Bulls somehow made it through here, all the way through up this way. Take out Fast Forward's base. Left with his fusions and his mexes though, so we can rebuild. But good damage dealt. Just utilizing a different pathway in order to get damage done. Airwave pulled. Orange definitely coming out on top after that air pull. Plenty of fighters, plenty of wasps left. Able to keep command of the skies in red team's favor. Lots of pawn spam here, and Razorbacks to back it up. Gonna be able to push these front lines down. Nukes are in play, taking out a bit of the economy and production for the green player. But to try and catch any more nukes that come out. There is frontline anti-nuke, so that landed just where it could. More Razorbacks over on the eastern side for the red team coming down. They're going to go into Canyon. While more Marauders come down. I'm going to run into Bulwarks and Razorbacks. And one looks like is going to slip by. Oh, nope, didn't make it. Almost. Meanwhile, the Razorbacks on the other side running over a minefield. That's painful. They do take out a lot of the basically AFK standing army that was sitting here. Left very, very low on health. This one's going to go down to mines right here. Does take out a mech before it dies. Another mech goes down. I mean, got some economic damage done. Maybe not enough to justify for like 5 Razorbacks, as well as leaving their wreckage down here. Airwave coming down. Is there bombers behind, or are we just sending our fighters to die? Yeah, just sending his fighters to take out the bombers that were built down here. But losing all of his fighters in the process, unfortunately. And we've got Thors out now. It's going to be much better for making a push. Meanwhile, Razorback's coming up here again, just running into one of the slowest units in the game instead of running around it. Huge pawn spam to push forward in front of this Thor, using the EMP missile on a tick. Interesting. More Thors. We have demons built up for the blue team, though they're not getting any action in. Incomes here. The blue team has taken a slight income lead. Might have been reclaim, actually. It's looking like the red team actually has the lead. Blue team is just getting more reclaim. Nobody wants to push in here. We're going to speed this back up again. See if we can get some pushes through the front lines. Oh, we got an airwave coming in. Just going to go straight for the front line defenses. Going to get a mechs and not much else. Not a very effective trade there. Looks like Clumsy Bandit's got his own Thors now. Back up his Razorbacks. Razorbacks of the Eco-Player Mall world dancing back and forth. Fighter wave taking out these wasps that were trying to come in. Meanwhile, bombing run coming in. See if we can get anything. Fighter wave comes in to try and take it out. Is it going to get to drop anything? I heard one bomb. And it is going to get all of the build power for Hot Dog. Oh, that's got to be frustrating. One bomb drops and gets all the build power. Meanwhile, trying to bomb the front line again. Yeah, I don't know how they're planning on busting through these front lines. But they'll figure it out at some point. Alright, let's see. We are massing up Thors on the red side. We got 1, 2, 3, 4 here. 5, 6. Looks like 7, 8 now. Meanwhile, on the blue side, we got a Titan, 4 Thors for the blue player himself. So there is the potential here. They just have to push in a single effort. Looks like red is getting ready to go. He's got a pawn wall coming in. Gets evaporated immediately. We got another in vain bombing run going against the front lines. does get one pulsar, and it gets a chainsaw, but not much else. I'm just going to point out here, everybody is fighting over this middle here with all of this defense. All up through here. But yet, over on this side, in either direction, there's very little protecting. Everybody gets hyper-focused. And sometimes it just takes a little bit of backing off and looking. We got Thors coming down for the red team, coming into the canyon. There is a lot of mines, but the Thors, if there's anything to attack, they will take out the mines with their little chain attack. So, in this case, sending the spam actually hurts the blue team, as the Thor chain attack takes out the mines. One Thor goes down. The other Thor here is making it very deep in. Cutting a path. Danilo coming in for the D-gun. Gets the D-gun. Thor goes down. Cut deep, and there's no follow-up because nobody else on the team is actually paying attention. Unfortunately. Meanwhile, on the other side, Blue is trying their luck assaulting the canyon. Everyone says, don't throw this away, but if you just walk around the side, you can just go right past. As these Razorbacks have done. It is getting around the side. They're going for this fusion. They're going to get it. And just like that, fast forward space goes down again. Razorbacks now coming up. Gonna go after what used to be Daka's base, which is now fast forwards. Anti-nuke goes down, some build power goes down, some converters. This one Razorback here might be a hero and gets the rest of fast forwards income. And in come the bombers after that hole was busted open. Taken out by the fighters. They take out the lab, but the T3 lab is still here, ever so barely. But fast forward at this point doesn't have any income or build power to utilize it. Looks like Red's going to try and return the favor. Bombers coming in. Got build power. That's about it here. Very difficult to just bomb right over a bunch of AA. There's a lot of flak there. Meanwhile, the canyon for the blue side has stabilized, replaced their mines. Titan is coming down from the yellow player. That has the HP to just, I don't say ignore the mines, but doesn't hurt them very much. Joe with a good D-gun, saving having to deal with that. Gonna have to run for his life with his commander though. Thor is chasing him down. He's gonna come in. Oh, doesn't get the D-gun, gets taken out by the Thor. This could be bad. There's a lot of Thors waiting to hit this gap. Danilo's commander is here. But you got to be careful with this many Thors because you D-gun the front one and the other ones are just going to kill you. And his commander's already heavily injured. So while the canyon is falling for the blue side, Blue himself is just pushing with a massive Titans and Thors right up the center after the Canyon of Red fell. There is a lot of Wasps coming down to apply pressure to this. It's going to take them a long time to deal with it. And I don't know if the red team has this kind of time. That's a lot of damage coming across. So at this point, it's a race between who can destroy the bases first. The red team with their 7 or so Thors here coming down the canyon. Or the blue team, who's already destroyed the Reds' canyon with all of these Thors. And I think the blue team's got it. They got a lot of damage output here. Everything just went down for the red player. All the aphis, his production, all gone. Blue is still marching forward. Units are getting taken down as he marches forward, but not before he deals crippling damage to the red team. There goes the air player's eco. Think he's going to get the eco player's eco as well. And there goes the eco player, and it chains over into the corner as well. At this point, the red team doesn't have an economy. Oh, Malward's commander is sat out here. There are 2 commanders per team at this point, which is the actual win condition. Where is the other commanders is the question. Tony triple shots here. And he is a long way from having to worry about dying. There is no way that I can foresee them coming back. We do have a rag up, however, it's about 2 minutes too late, unfortunately. And with that, the blue team is going to take victory here on All That Glitters. If you liked the video, please leave me a like down below. If there's anything you'd like to see or anything I can improve, leave me a comment down in the comment section. Thank you. We'll see you again.